open up. Good. Let's go two more. We're full speed here. Exaggerate this feeling.
Am I keeping it in?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Sometimes it's hard to feel when you go for a while.
Elbow in. Good pivot. So if our elbow is sneaking behind us a little bit,
Yeah,
what can we contribute to that? Would your thought be our pivot now? So if we have lack of, if we're not turning and I'm just going upper body, this wants to kind of move behind. But if I'm turning my lower body with it, it's kind of a married relationship there to where I can keep the elbow in a good spot. So if I'm not pivoting properly, kind of that lifting of the arms gets this elbow wanting to get behind us, so we can feel our pivot working properly. It's a lot easier to keep that elbow in. It's not so much of a stretch either.
It's a massive hip turn. You're back on the right pocket. That was way out. I feel that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt that one.
So the relationship there may be a 90 to 45, 90 degree shoulder turn, 45 at the hips, somewhere in there. There we go.
Want to throw me that towel one more time?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, exaggerate that feeling. Good. See now, yeah. So when we're doing it, when we're here, now we got us the hips. I want to activate. So this isn't so much of a stretch. Try that same thing with no pivot. Just feel the difference. See how difficult that is. It's a stretch. It's very hard to do. So yeah, if you can allow the hips to turn with it, it's not so difficult. All right, so just for an example here, we're going to no ball. We're going to take a practice swing. Just go to left arm parallel for me. Yep. So as we go parallel, yeah, the shaft's working a little more vertical. So we have good depth here. So I think we could add a little pivot to it, just a little bit with our hips. Hey, see now it's not hard, right? So if we don't get the proper pivot, we're going to notice we're going to be more out here.
Right.
Where we need a little more depth. As we have the depth, the club shallows. Now our path is more in and out. Now is where we don't have the proper pivot and lead arm depth, we're going to be here, and it's tough to get that thing to shallow out and make good contact. A lot of times we may come up and out with that high handle and kind of hit that block out to the right. So that would be our focus point here is, really exaggerate that pivot, keep it simple for that right arm to fold in, stay on our side, and then just open up. Okay, good. So we've made good progress here. We're getting the feeling. We're exaggerating the feeling. So something that I want you to do in between now and the next time you play or next time you practice is, throw a towel under there. Make a few swings. And when we're doing this, we're not focusing on going full speed. We're not trying to rip that thing back. We want to exaggerate. We want to feel and understand the feeling of if we can keep this here as we make transition into the golf ball and go all the way through. The towel's going to drop off at some point because this tends to lift up and over the chest once we get into position. Unless you have a little lean, you may be able to hold it there. But that would be my go-to, is we're going to go with the towel under the arm, really feel a good pivot, You know, allow this knee to come in. This leg's going to straighten pretty much. And as we do so, so if I have this alignment rod, I want you to take one last practice swing. Let's do it right in front of the camera here. Yep, face it. Perfect. So I'm holding this here. So this is our post. As we go to the top of the swing, yeah, so notice, so go ahead and go to the top. Good pivot. Notice how we didn't move it. We didn't come back this way. We don't have any kind of slide or sway in there. And as we do that, we can really just allow from here, allow everything to open up with our knee, our hips. Yeah, and that's going to allow that club to work more shallow in transition. You know, and it's really going to help. So a good thought on that is think of a spiral staircase. Works up, works down the same way. So as we go to the top of our swing, notice how everything's kind of folding in. My hips are turning, my shoulders are turning up here, and then in transition, my knee, my hips, my shoulders, and then my hands. And everything follows to where we're in a good impact position. We have that shaft lean. So we're really compressing the golf ball, and we're getting the most out of it. So we got our drill. We've got some work in here. Exaggerate that feeling. Go slow-mo maybe 50% and really feel that. Okay? Is there any questions you may have for me?
No, I like it.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, in between rounds or in between your practice sessions, if you start to feel this elbow maybe getting a little behind you, yeah, let's just get that towel under there, focus on our pivot, good turn, because this towel is just essentially going to help that elbow stay in. If it starts to fly, it's going to drop. But with that there, we're really just focusing on the pivot. We're not thinking about the towel. If we pivot from here, the towel's going to stay in place. Okay? So good work. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, absolutely.